All right, so yeah, so Will, I guess just for people who are watching the video, so you're doing this coaching for the Reddit Teamfight Tactics? So,
Yeah.
how did you get involved doing the coaching then?
So I was on the server, the Discord server, and they said they like put out a thing for everyone saying like, does anybody like to do coaching for us? I already do it for another server, so I thought may as well. I've done some paid coaching for people as well, so if anyone wanted to do like a lot more coaching with me, then I could offer that to them.
Okay.
So yeah.
Have you got just for the well, I guess I'll ask you about it afterwards, but yeah, I'll try and get a link to put in the description of the video. That's cool. Okay, so how much of TFT coaching have you done already? Because I've never been coached in anything. So.
Okay, so I've done a couple of these, and I've done a couple of like 3 or 4 paid as well. People, I've done a couple of sessions with one of them, and then a couple I've just done one session with. So yeah, about 7 or 8 sessions.
Okay. Like, what kind of stuff? I suppose, yeah, it literally is just like asking us, what kind of stuff have people been kind of looking for? Because I don't even know where to start with this. In terms of, I don't know what I don't know.
Right. Okay. Well, first off, here, probably looking to sell something to get 40 gold, because you're a bit all over the place with what you're holding on the bench. Yeah, that's fine. You look like you're looking for Nidalee 3. That's not a terrible idea, but yeah, I would recommend probably. It's not a good interval, if you know what that means.
I do not. It's probably best to assume I don't know anything, because we're going to be more more than wrong.
First off, put the Elise back a row and the Warwick where the Elise is.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then secondly, probably may as well leave it at this point. A good interval is when leveling is at a multiple of 4 away. So, because you level in 4s, then 10 out of 12 you'd level, and then 2 gold is kind of wasted.
Sure.
So you might miss out on like a what's it called? Yeah, one of those. Multiple of 10. I've forgotten the words.
I guess it would be interests. I don't know if threshold.
You missed out on one of the interest thresholds. Now you want to probably want to go to 6 now. You probably just want to level 20 gold.
Okay, so that's something which I wouldn't think to do.
Because you're probably a bit behind the curve of this game. So you do that, and you want to pick up the poppies. And you want to put the poppy and the Mordekaiser in, just for now.
Okay.
You can get Warwick in as well.
Oh, I can. Yes, that's right. Not a good position.
But then, what I'd do in that round as well is I'd probably roll 20 gold. I know that's quite a lot to do. But yeah, you can roll now. Already installed, it's great. You might want to pick up the cannon as well, just in case you get a bunch of cannons. You can roll a bit. So Drani's fantastic if you sell, Darius. And sell someone as well with 1 gold, like Castania.
Okay, well, yes. I feel like I realize now that it's we should probably actually tell you what, it might just be easier to. I could just ditch this game, and we could kind of just talk about some more general theory stuff, because I suspect I probably won't be able to take in terribly well what's being said while also playing.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Alright, let's get out of here. Okay, so I suppose, yeah, I might just edit this part down, but I guess some of the big things I'm kind of looking for would be to try and improve my fundamentals, because I think at the moment I'm sort of blaggy my way through.
Yeah.
But I don't kind of have any real sort of foundational understanding of why I'm doing certain things. I'm just kind of trying stuff, and then I find that there are games where I'm doing well, but I don't really know why I'm doing well.
Okay. That might be down to you hit a strong either you hit a strong early game carry, like you get like a Z2 or a Lucian 2 or a Lissandra 2 or something like that, and have items on them or that kind of thing, that can make you strong. Or you hit, but after people do that, then you could hit like a good 3-star carry, like a cannon with items, and then those things can all make you really, really strong throughout the start of the game. But generally, how the game's played out is sort of dependent on how fast or slow the meta is. So sometimes the meta will be like gunslingers, and nobody will get to like everybody will be like level 7 by the end of the game. Everyone will die super fast. You've got to spend all your gold. Nobody gets 50 gold. You know, that kind of thing. And then sometimes it'll be like a couple patches ago where it's like everyone gets to dragon, everyone has 50 gold. You know.
Okay, so that seems like a good place to kind of expand out. So, what kind of, so you mentioned like the different kinds of things that people are building, like gunslingers. Is so, in terms of getting a handle on what the meta is, is it just a case of like looking out for all of the 2-stars that are coming through on the side of the screen and trying to identify kind of what compositions people are putting together?
Well, it's not even. I mean, the people in your game are probably not a good way of judging what the meta is. You should really, if you want to know what's good, then watching streamers is just, I can't stress enough how good watching like the top streamers are. Not like the big viewer streamers, like the actual like rank 10 kind of.
Can you recommend anyone in particular?
Okay, so Alan's Q is, if you go onto the leaderboard, he's rank 1, I think, in the world. He streams most days. I'll have a look now, actually.
Oh, is there a leaderboard for TFT?
Yeah, he's streaming now. Is that what? Yeah, if you go into profile and then ranked.
Oh, that's right, of course. Okay.
And then if you go to TFT at the top and then top TFT players. No, that's league.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, at the bottom there.
Ah, yeah, right. Gotcha.
Then he's streaming like right now. He's very good to watch.
Okay.
But I don't know. He doesn't really explain a lot. Who's good for explaining?
That's the problem I've had. Like with Scar and things. Like he's got some really good information in his videos, but like it seems you could just like if someone just like took the relevant stuff from that, like like I would pick up like an item combination or a particular sort of transition or whatever from his videos, but like I'd be watching for say 40 minutes to get like 2 pieces of information.
Yeah. Well, some of his, if you're talking about his like quote unquote coaching videos, they're good as long as you're watching like the really up to date ones. Don't watch ones from like 2 weeks ago because they'll probably be outdated. And then one of them is like he like set out like a roadmap of what I was talking about, of like the pace of the meta, to do at what time. And then the next day they changed it. So I think he did another one that's kind of similar. I think it might be.
Is this on YouTube?
Yeah. But generally I'd recommend streams over YouTube because YouTube's kind of like edited, nice footage. I won this game, woo, kind of thing. Or like I got this nice combo, and it's like not that educational. Most of it, if you're watching like pure gameplay.
Oh, there's a round by round guide which is 1 week ago.
Yeah, that's probably the thing you want to avoid. Let me see if I can find the thing that I thought was quite good. It might be in one of the channels. I can't actually find it in the server. Someone I think put it in, but
let's see. I'm assuming maybe it's.
Oh yeah, okay. Here it is.
Okay, cool.
I'll give you a link. I watched it in 2 times speed because it's 40 minutes, but it's quite helpful. But I would say Scarra isn't like an elite player. He's good at the game, definitely. But like one of the one I would recommend is Dark Hydra. He's also second on the US leaderboard. But he basically explains everything he's doing, so
Oh, that'd be really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then you'd see the comps that basically most comps that you see in any of their games, whatever they're running or whatever they're running against, is probably pretty good at the moment, because you can't get away with like I couldn't get away with going in a game and playing what's a bad comp? Actually, quite a lot is good at the moment. Like,
I've been having trouble with. And I suspect this might be an execution thing more than maybe the actual strength of composition, but I've had a lot of games which I've been trying to sort of do wild plus something else.
right, okay.
I've struggled to kind of get that to be as good as I feel like it probably should be.
Okay. You gave me an example. I'd struggle to do well in the game if I was running 4 wild plus something. Like, it's doable, but like it's not. Yeah, it's not that good because I mean you can have two wild is fantastic because you've got stuff like Rengar, Warwick, or for like Brawlers Assassins, or you've got Nah and Nidalee for shapeshifters, but all 4 of them is a bit.
Yeah, you have to have something kind of you don't
You can
want.
do wild sorcerers as well, but again, the whole they won't miss passive doesn't really work that well with sorcerers because sorcerers do all the damage with spells, not auto attacks. It's a bit weird. I mean, you've seen some wacky stuff like with 4 wild and like a Draven Blade Master thing, but that's like you have to have spatulas and it's really messy and it's not something you can like be heading towards every game. So yeah.
Okay, I'll definitely check out the Dark Hydra stuff. Like, it feels like I mean, I'm hoping I'm totally wrong on this, but it feels like at the moment, like it's kind of hard to find everything in one place. Like in terms of, like, because people sort of talk about individual compositions and things. Like I haven't seen this the Scar video you linked, but I'll definitely check it out. But where someone sort of sits down and be like, kind of like diagrams out all this stuff. Or in terms of like, these are the kind of things you should be thinking about at these different stages of the game, which at the moment I'm just probably just not thinking about at all. Like,
so so you can't find like a source for all of those things, like all of them in the one place.
Yeah, well,
all that information.
Yeah, because like you watch the stream and someone will kind of it tends. I mean, I haven't seen what Dark Hydra's like, but like it tends to be because it's so focused on what's happening in a given game. That it tends to be that it's quite hard to expand that out to say all games. Because...
Well, okay. This is kind of like you have to be patient and you have to watch like not just a game. You just really have to get like a real good understanding of things. Then you have to watch a lot of games. To be honest, not like spend 4 hours in a row, but like like an hour here, an hour there. Watch a couple of games. Like, I didn't watch, like, any TFT streams at all, and I was hard stuck Diamond 4, like, a month and a half ago, and then I started watching them, like, for a couple of hours every night, and then within about a week, I got GM, so it's like, it really, really helps.
So what were the kind of things you picked up from those streams?
Just when to do... Well, like, it's changed now because the meta's completely different, but, like, when to... econ, when to roll, when to level, like those kind of things. Just like the because like you can generally you level at like generally 2 or 3 different points. It like varies game to game. So like you start at level 3 in the PvP rounds, you could straight away level. So you can do that if you really want to like push a win streak and you're not going to get beaten. Other than that, you can level. What is it? 3-5. Yeah, you can level at 3-5. No, sorry, 2-5. Because that's a good interval. And then you can level at 3-1, or you can let it auto level at 3-3. If you're really saving gold. But the stage 3 is kind of tricky because you have to get. At the end of it, you have to be like after Wolves, or like shortly after Wolves, you've got to really be level 7 to keep up. But at the start of it, you could be level 4. So like you really have to. You can't be rolling a lot before that, before stage 3.
So I've got up a stage sheet which I'll just send through just to make it easier, just so we're talking about the same things. So I'm just trying to sort of get this in my mind. So. Oh, that's right.
So, yeah, all right. So at you can level to 4 at 2-1, or let's say round 4 because that's how that's laid out. So you can do that. That's you probably don't want to be doing that in like 9 out of 10 of your games, because you're never like 100% secured a win. And that if you level and don't get the win, then it's you're kind of really lagging behind people then, because you're lagging on health and gold, and it's like you don't want to be doing both of those things.
So what kind of circumstances would you consider to be appropriate? Is it like if you get early too?
If I get like a 2-star Nidalee and Warwick and like Garen, and then I have like something like another, and I have a Darius as well that I could put in for Knight.
Oh yeah, so you're getting the 2 synergies going.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and if I have some really strong units and like a carry unit like Nidalee and like a good item on her, yeah. Generally, in the first, if you can, then in stage 1 you can get 10 gold. If you get, because you can get champions from the drops now. I saw someone the other day get a Sejuani from it. Like, I probably wouldn't keep that because you're never gonna, like, it's gonna be,
yeah, you're never gonna level it.
Yeah, until way later. So it's 4 gold that you could probably make 10 gold with straight away. So if you are willing to just ditch the unless you get like a 2 Kennen, 2 Aatrox, that kind of thing, you probably want to keep those.
Yes,
because then there's a chance of getting a 2-star like really early, and then you're set. But you can sell like these 2-star units that like you don't have any preference towards. Like, say you get a TF and you're not really feeling like TF is gonna go anywhere near your game this game, you can just sell it for gold. And if you get 10 gold before the PvP, that's fantastic. That's just really good, because then you're like probably going to be 10-20 gold ahead of everyone. Right, then you can level at round 4, like I said, but also you're probably looking to either level at 8 or 10, because they're good intervals, I think. If
so
I've
that's
got that right.
just before Krugs or just after Krugs?
Yes. Because if you do it at Krugs, like you were, no, yeah. If you do it at Krugs, then it's, I think it's 6 out of 12, so that's bad interval because it's not multiple, because 6 is a multiple of 4. But if you do it afterwards, then it's 8 out of 12, so that's perfect. You just level once for gold, you're up.
Oh, that's right, because they changed the XP things, didn't they?
Yeah, and then this is where it gets a bit vague. You can roll a little bit after that, because that's when you are opened up to your 4-cost units. So your Dravens, your Sejuanis, your Brilliant Souls, that kind of thing.
So after Krugs, so under Krugs, under most circumstances, you'd be level. Let's see.
Well,
so
if you're super weak, then you might not even be able to take Krugs if you're level 4. Sometimes if you've not got any.
That's definitely happened to me a few times, yeah.
Yeah. So leveling to 5 is a good way of making sure you probably get Krugs, and it's a lot safer. I mean, you can, in certain circumstances, you can wait until round 12 and it levels automatically for you. That's the kind of thing you're doing. Have you seen this Kassadin Void Assassin strategy?
Oh yeah, no, I've tried it a few times. Like, certainly when it comes to, like, I know on some of the mobilitics guides, like, they literally just tell you when to roll and things like that, and I followed that and it's worked. But it's felt a bit strange because I don't really know why I'm doing it. I just, followed the instructions.
Alright, so you're aware of, at each level there's a completely different set of percentages.
Drop rates, yeah.
Of rolling different things, right?
Yep.
So your one cost drop rate at level 1 through, at level 1 and 2, I think, or there isn't one for 1, but for 2 is 100%.
Yeah.
And from then on, it just gets lower and lower and lower. And the whole comp is based around, well, later on it's based around Zed and Pike 3, but initially, Kassadin and Kha'Zix 3 is like, that's what you need, otherwise the comp is just not going to work. It's not going to be strong enough, because you need a Kassadin one-shotting people for it to actually sort of pay off. Or you could put the items on Rexa if you find that first, but So the whole point is you try and get the 1-star units. You want those.
Sure.
You want loads of them. So you literally, on top of that, you usually will want first pick on the second carousel, right? Because you either got a BF sword or a spatula on the first one, and you need the other one. So you want to kind of tank health. So you should be looking to save gold, like as best you possibly can. You can sell any unit that isn't a Kassadin, a Kha'Zix, a Zed, a Pike, a Rek'Sai. You can sell any unit that isn't those, even like the assassins that you'd have in later, because you'll find them. It's just you need the gold at the moment. So to get as much gold as you can before, around 11 is the round where you do your rolling. So you literally save gold for like a third of the game. So you've got like 50 gold by that point, and then you literally, as fast as you can. Usually, if I'm listening to music or anything, I just completely turn it off so I can completely focus. You shop. You pick up all the one cost units. You roll. You pick up all the next one cost units. You pick up as many one cost units as you can, whilst also looking for the Kha'Zixes and Kassadins and Zeds and Pikes.
So
mostly the Kha'Zix and the Kassadins there.
Sorry, so just to check back on it. So yeah, we're doing this presumably just before we go through to the next
before you
level.
Automatically hit level 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then your chance of getting the one cost unit will be way lower. And if you did it before this, then not only would you sort of cripple your game with you'd still be weak and you'd have no gold to roll, because you need a lot of gold to find these things.
Oh sure, so we're getting a couple of extra gold of interest by holding off for it as long as possible.
Yeah. So then you've got the maximum chance of finding all these things. You've got to be really quick though. I mean, do you use the hotkeys?
No, I haven't been. What are the hotkeys?
So the main ones, actually the only ones I use are D and F. So D is reroll your shop, and F is level. So they're if you want to do this hyper rolling strategy, then they are very necessary. A lot of the time, if you see streamers sometimes they'll roll or level with the mouse, but that's just laziness. If they're really needing to do it fast, then they will use D and F, because it's just because
you have to move your mouse backwards and forwards otherwise.
And click and stuff. And also another thing that I do, I don't know if anyone else does this, if you have mouse buttons, I've bound because you can use Q and R or 1 and 3 to scroll through opponents' boards, clockwise or anti-clockwise. And I've bound that to my 2 mouse buttons, so it's a lot easier, quicker for me to do. So
okay, that's smart.
I think scouting is really important, for blitzcranks, for positioning, that kind of thing. Or for Zephyrs or whatever. So I just put them to that, and it makes it a lot quicker for me. But I know, obviously, it's a lot to expect somebody to just do that and then scroll through things really quickly. I know it takes people a lot of time.
No, I like the idea. Honestly, I'm still appalled that they've not put in a scoreboard for the game. But for the time being, that sounds better than just trying to fumble around with the keys. So yeah, I'll give that a try.
Right, and I said before you need to generally be hitting level 7 after Wolves, right?
That's right. Yes.
So I can't remember the interval, but it's I think it might be 17. It's either 17 or 16 and 18 are the times when you should be doing it. But generally, before the carousel and after Wolves is you want to be getting level 7, and then you can roll a lot. Really, you can. And then after that, looking for your big ticket units that are going to carry you through the game, you can stack them with items, that kind of thing. And then, so that's when you should be basically saying, this is my comp, these are the units I'm going to go in it. Maybe you don't find one of them, that's fine. You can put maybe you don't find a Swain or something if you need shapeshifters, so then you get a Shyvana in there or whatever instead, or a Jace, just for the time being. Probably don't actually hinge a build on a Swain, because that's not a good idea.
That's right. So level 7 is when you can first turn up the legendaries, right?
I think it's level 6 actually. It's 0.5.
Didn't they take out the level 6 0.5?
Or maybe they did. I need to look that up actually.
Because I remember it used to be a big thing that people would get the random Kale, and then it was well, guess I win.
Yeah, in the other meta, yeah. Where would I find this?
There's a bunch of different places with it on. I don't know if it was 9.18 or if it's.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I think it's 9.8.
Yeah, you're right. They removed that. Okay, it is level 7 then. You're right.
Yeah,
I noticed that. It's because it's so rare to happen beforehand.
Yeah, I think apparently they're taking out the 4 drops from the. You're talking about the 4 drop, getting the 4 drops really early from a.
All right.
They're apparently going to take that out because again, it's one of the things which I think somehow someone's managed to get to them and managed to persuade them of the idea that memorable experiences don't have to hinge on just random crap.
Yeah. But yeah, it's true.
But okay, so this is something which I kind of like to understand a bit better, because I think it sounds like we've kind of got onto the broken into the area of because it sounds like there's at least I guess we got like the generic approach, which would be like you could say in most games you would do this then etc. And then we've got the other one, which is going really hard after early level 1. So I guess avoid assassin thing, which is like
that also works with gunslingers. So your Tristanas and stuff, but that's pretty weak at the moment. Like Tristana 3 is not really a good unit, even with items. I don't think.
So
Graves 3, but
Yeah, I guess would Wilds fall under the same thing because you've got Warwicks and. It's
not really. Well, okay. Generally, if you don't see it done, then it's probably pretty bad. And that's not. Generally speaking, like it could be that you thought of something that will be like someone will do, and it'll actually be really good. But like the whole the units that are used for these kind of strategies with the items that they've got are like really fantastic. Like the whole point of the Castellan is if you got the perfect items on him, he can't miss an auto attack. He does true damage, and the true damage is a 1,200 crit. So every unit will, if it's a squishy, it'll get 1 shot. If it's a tank, it'll get 2 shot. That kind of thing. And the whole point of gunslingers is you put on-hit items like Shrink Ray and Red Buff and that kind of thing. And then your units just hit everything on the board and they all just disappear. They all just get eviscerated in a couple of shots. Yes. But with Wilds, it's like they're not. Rengar's good to stack, but then like he's not a low-cost unit. Nidalee and Warwick, bit useless. Well, Nidalee level 3 stacked with 6 shapeshifters. That's good. That's a really good unit. But like you need all the shapeshifters, and it's not really built around the Wilds.
So which is like, I guess.
And Warwick's terrible with items. Sorry, go on.
I was to say, like, I guess the comparative thing under that circumstance would be, like, if you're saying that if you went really hard after a level 3 Nidalee, you're not going to get the same return that you would from that level 3 Kassadin, or 3-star Kassadin.
Although there are definitely sort of caveats to you going, like, it's got to be pretty well set up for you you can't force this every game. Like, you have to have the items. If you don't have the items, then tier 3 Kassadin's like pretty useless.
Oh yeah, no, I saw a guy trying that in a game where I was casting, and it was really painful because he never got the spatula.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you need. It's unlucky if. It's unlucky if you go the first 3 carousels without finding a spatula, because then after that, feeding to get to the next carousel first pick is like really risky, because you could already be down to 40 HP by round 13 carousel, and not find a spatula, and then you need to get the first pick on the next one, so that's like really pushing it, and you've probably game's over by then. I mean, I played this in a normal game with my friends the other day, and I had the spatula. I didn't get a BF sword. I was first pick on every single carousel to round 31, and didn't get a BF sword, didn't get one in any of the item drops, and finally got a BF sword around 31.
Yeah.
But like, I guess it wasn't that bad actually, because I beat everyone, but it was, I came second, but it was not, it was a normal game, so it's like, nobody's really going for it too hard. But I finally found the BF sword and then lost the round after, so That's just a bit of a tragic story.
I was thinking what I was going to try and do is just to go back over some of the stuff we were saying already. Like I want to kind of nail this down in my head because I think some of the reason I get kind of confused about it is because I don't have like a clear idea of a lot of stuff. So it's kind of I sort of half understand a lot of things, which means I don't really understand anything. So if we're talking about this is hyper rolling is the whole spending down after Krugs.
Yeah, you get to one level before. This is only for, at the moment, really, nobody does gunslingers, so at the moment it's just for that strategy, which is, if you get the comp working and functional with all the 3 stars, like 3-star Pike, Zed, Kassadin, Rek'Sai, Kha'Zix, you get those, and then 2 more Assassins in, because then you got 6 Assassins Void. So that is definitely the strongest comp right now, just hands down, I believe.
So, yeah, it's so good. It's a kind of... I wish I hadn't messed with the numbers on this diagram, but presumably that's 3-2 would be like the point that would...
Yes, you roll in the 30 seconds prior to 3-2.
Okay. So if one's going for, like... I guess it seems to make sense. So after that point, if we're keeping on the hyper-rolling thing, so presumably we get more or less what we want at that point. So we end up with, some...
Well, you don't... Like, maybe you'll end that with... like, most of the time you won't actually get the 3 costs then. But then, what the plan is you just... You automatically go to level 5. Then you save until you got 50 gold again, and then go again, basically. Assuming you're not... If you're tanking, like, a lot, and you're going to die before, like, wolves, or just after wolves, then you probably want to roll... like 30 gold or 20 gold or whatever, but you want to save gold again, roll again until you've actually got, because there is no point in you leveling in that comp until you've got the things, because you don't care about level 6, because level 6 doesn't get... Level 6 you can put another assassin in, great, you've got 5 assassins. Level 7 you've got 6 assassins, but like it's a long time until you get there, so you want to be focusing on getting your 3-star units, basically.
Okay, so
yeah.
So just sorry, I'll have to do a lot of this recap to make sure I understand it.
That's fine.
So just recap. So get to stage 3-2, roll down, and get... we're probably not going to get 3-star Kassadins, 3-star Kha'Zix, 3-star Rek'Sai at that point. But at that point, we can't... That's going to be our best shot at getting as many of them as possible.
Yeah. You're going to be looking to have at least 2 2-stars of each.
But we're going to spend down to 0 at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 0 gold. I
mean, if you're not fast enough, then it doesn't matter if you're not... I mean, you can roll in the round as well, but you don't want to get yourself in a position where you've got your bench full of these upgrades and you have to sell one for another one. Do you know what I mean? So if you get it full, then, you can stop, wait until you take 5, then put the thing in and keep going, or you can just save. It sort of... It depends whether you need... Like, you can not roll down... You can roll down to 10 or 20 or something. Usually, actually... You're not going to be fast enough. Like, rolling 50 gold is, like, very, like, in 30 seconds is, like, very hard. Like, you'll miss stuff if you're not, like, exceptional at the game. I can probably do 40 gold if I'm, like, really focusing, because it's, like, really, you have to be fast in 30 seconds to roll that many times.
It's curious that's kind of, like, that is a game mechanic. Like, because it seems...
I mean, even when you're not doing this kind of hyper-rolling strategy, that there are sometimes breakpoints in the game where, say you have 60 gold, you're 20 off leveling to 8, right? This is just a random scenario. It could probably happen. And you're, I don't know, 20 HP. If you take a bad... And, like, you're feeling really, really weak in the game, you're on a 3-loss streak, everyone's destroying you. You have 30 seconds, you need to go to 8, put in a unit that will help, and you need to roll to get your upgrades, to get better units, and you need to put items on the right things. It's like that. Some rounds there is a lot to do, and if you're not quick, like, it takes practice obviously, but you've got to be quick, otherwise you could not get... Like, you could have rolled 4 more times and found, like, the 2-star Draven or the 2-star Radiant Soul, which would have won you the next round, and you lose the round, and you lose the game, and you come 8th. It's like... There are tipping points where it's, like, really necessary for you to do a lot in one round. And
Yeah,
there are
that makes
also
sense.
rounds where you just can lay back, do whatever you want. To be honest, you don't need to do anything.
Yes,
So
the
it kind
talk to
of
the stream rounds.
what's that?
Okay, the talk to the stream rounds.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just like because that is something I've been heard. Oh man, have heard being tossed around. The whole idea of like needing to be able to spend really really quickly. It does make you wonder if at some point they might put like a timer lockout on rerolls or something, just to make it like less of a thing in the game. But
I think it's kind of, I think it's good because I think it's kind of skill expressive in sort of, it's not like big brain or anything, but it's like certainly you have to think very fast to sort of, if you can roll sort of in the 30-second period 5 times faster than anyone else in your game, then you can.
you're just going to see more units.
Yeah, you definitely will, and you'll beat them to them. Like if everyone, because generally, especially last patch, but less so this patch, but still you'd see it. Everyone, like last patch, everyone leveled on the exact same rounds. Like everyone hit level 5 on the same round, everyone hit level 6 on the same round, everyone hit level 7 and 8 on the same exact round. Level 9, it's like you couldn't really get there unless you're doing really well, but then it's kind of like everyone is looking for these good 4-cost units and the upgrades for them. But then everyone's rolling at the same time. Literally 8 out of 8 people in a game have all hit level 7 and they're all rolling. So being fast is like of the essence. It's like really important because you could find something that someone else would find if you were too slow.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing the LPL stream. They did like a zoom in on each of the people's shops, and just it was blindingly fast how quickly they were going through it.
Were they all on the same round as well?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something that's important to getting better at the game, I think. But you're interested in fundamentals, so
yes, I guess that's probably a later on thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's like mechanics and practicing a lot, but I'm just going to run some things past you, see if you know about them. Do you know about pre-leveling?
That's where you put yourself in a position to level up with the 2 experience you get from the round, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't think there's an application on this patch for it, or at any point. I mean, unless like it's a very specific condition, but like I don't think this patch is very important. It's not that important generally anyway, but it's just something to have in the back of your mind. Also, what else is there? When you're, say, rolling for 3-cost upgrades, say you've got like a bunch of Yordles, you got your Cannon, you got Poppy, you got Veigar, and like a Lulu, and you want to upgrade all of them, and you're rolling for them. So you're generally looking for 3-cost units. You pick up 3-cost units out of the shop, which will then raise your chance of finding the ones you want.
Oh, that's right, yes.
So that's something which can increase your chances of finding units. There's also, early on in the game, buying down to your interest gold. So say I have 48 gold, and there's like Sejuani and a Cho'Gath in the shop. I don't really want either of them, but it's good to buy them because you're taking it out of someone else's shop for the next round. Do you know what I mean? You're not losing yourself any gold because you can just sell them.
Yeah, so in that case, we're assuming you didn't have like 2 golds worth of stuff to get you up to the next breakpoint.
Yeah. Or if you needed the stuff on your bench, and even if you won the round, you couldn't get to 50 gold anyway, so you needed to buy those. But certainly, if you can get to 50 gold, then you'd sell. But that kind of thing, or generally in the early game anyway, if you've got 15 gold and there's 5 1 costs, pick them all up, because there are situations where you can just get 2 more of them in the next shop, and there you go. You've got a 2-star unit that will make you a bit stronger.
I hadn't thought of it from the perspective of doing it as a denial thing.
Okay, so then you have to be. That's a way later thing. So you can even, if in certain scenarios you can even lose your own gold for it, but that's like really, I wouldn't even bother thinking about this. Well,
Yes.
about losing your own gold for it. But if say it's like really late game, you're both really strong, you're both level 9, and you're looking for the 2-star 5 costs, right?
Mm.
If you see them with 2 Swains, and you see Swain,
Yeah.
pick up Swain and hold it for as long as you can, basically. If you see 2 of them, pick up both of them and just hold them.
Yeah.
Like, or say someone's been on 2 Dravens for ages, and nobody else is building Draven. Just hold the Draven. Just hold it, and then they'll struggle to get another one. I mean, they might just get it straight away, but like you're decreasing their chance, and it's making them lose more games. It's making them lose more health. It's making them sweat, you know. So it's good to do that for denial, but you have to be aware of what other people are doing on their boards, which means scouting.
Well, actually, I realised that we didn't actually sort of fully finish off the stuff before, because like this stuff is really, really useful. I just want to make sure I get the real fundamental stuff down, because I think with the hyper roll stuff, so I've got, so just recap, so saving until slightly after Krugs, last point, then we're banging through all our gold trying to get our level 1s. I guess theoretically we could try and apply this as something other than Void, but it sounds like Void's one where it's really worthwhile. And then you're saving up again until presumably, what point you're saving up to 50, and then when would you be spending that?
It honestly completely depends on when you've got the gold. It's not an exact science. It's also not, you don't have to spend at 50, you can spend at 40 or 30. It depends how, if you're losing too much health, and I'd say too much health is like consistently more than 10 HP every round, then you want to probably spend when you've got 30 gold. Because otherwise you're just going to be on like 20 health before your comp comes online, and then a couple of bad rounds and you've lost the game.
Okay.
So there's not like, because you could be 5 rounds getting that, you could be 2 rounds getting that. If you get like no,
so it depends on the lobby,
yeah. It depends on how fast you get the gold as to when you roll, but you shouldn't focus on which round then, you should focus on how much gold you have. Similarly to getting after Wolves getting level 7 and after Raptors getting level 8, you can wait a bit longer, but you generally want to have enough gold to level and have at least 15-20 gold to roll afterwards. So because otherwise you're not refinding the units.
So Wolves 7, Raptor 8, that sounds like a reasonable kind of rule of thumb. Does that apply to the hyper rolling stuff, or is that just
No. So the hyper rolling, anything above level 7 doesn't do anything for I mean, generally hyper rolling strategies don't get anywhere past level 7 anyway, because they just do not have enough gold to level. But also it doesn't matter with them, because, for example, the Void Assassins, you've got your Assassins, your Voids are Kassadin, Kha'Zix, Rek'Sai, right? Unless you find a Cho'Gath 2 and you've only got Rek'Sai 2. And your Assassins are Kha'Zix, Kassadin, Zed, Pike, and then 2 others, Karina, Evelyn, Rengar, Web. So that's only 7 units altogether to get the 6 Assassins and 3 Void. But before that, I mean, you can hit 3 Assassins, 3 Void at level 4, because you can have a Zed, a Kha'Zix, a Kassadin, and a Rek'Sai, and then you've got your 3 Void and 3 Assassins, presuming that you've got a Yomu's on the Kassadin. So then leveling is not really a big concern, because you have the synergies that you need at level 4. So then when you get to level 5, leveling isn't a concern, because level 6 won't give you anything really. It'll give you another assassin, but then still only 5 assassins.
Yeah, and it will drop your percentage of picking up level 1s quite a lot.
Yeah, and I think at level 6 then your percentage of getting level 2s starts to go down, and it's 3 costs is your main ones that are available then. So you really want to be rolling a lot in level 5 as well before you hit level 6. So level 5 to 6 is 20 gold. I see people rolling generally no earlier than 10 out of 20, XP. But yeah, you can roll. Say you'd probably get to 10 XP when you're on 30 gold, for instance, and you'd probably hit 50 gold when you're on 18 XP. So yeah, if you're struggling, then roll in the middle of that level. If you're not, then roll at the end of that level. But leveling to sort of make you stronger is not what you want to be doing. If you do hit everything in level 5, then you can go straight from 5 to 7, because 6 to 7 is such a small. It's not that much XP and it's not that much gold if you have a lot of gold. And you've got all the units you want to put in. Then you can go, if you're like close to hitting the level 5, you can go straight through 5 and 6 to 7.
Okay, so yes, you're looking to hit presumably your kind of biggest power as soon as possible. Okay. Yeah, I suppose there's kind of a window of time in the game, isn't there, where presumably other people's competitions will start picking up, 2-star, like, I guess eventually 8 units rather than your 7. Like, you're going to fall off. So to extend the window.
Well, I mean, I've seen people at level 9 with a super stacked comp lose to a level 6, level 7 Void Assassin comp. It's like super strong. It's completely unnecessary for you to get higher levels, honestly.
Yes, I think I've struggled to kind of get past that idea myself, where I've been like, I think when you come in, you kind of, it does seem like, it's so obvious, if I've got more stuff than they do, then I'm going to win. Like, the whole game seems to be sort of pushing you towards getting, the combos of different traits and things, so yeah, it's taken me a while to kind of get to the point of seeing people win games, totally with just 6 units, where they just destroy everyone, because, if all of your 9 units are all fairly garbage, then that makes sense.
Exactly.
So, okay, so thank you for the overview of hyper rolling there.
That's right.
So, I probably feel like I'm kind of doing this a bit backwards, but are there any other kind of oddball strategies that are worth, or not oddball, but like alternative to mainstream strategies?
Let me have a think. I don't think so, actually. No, I don't think so. I think, other than hyper rolling, you kind of have to follow the sort of general level 7 after wolves, level 8 after raptors, not necessarily straight afterwards, but
Okay,
before the carousel.
Well, then, could we? I suppose, like, as the last thing, I think we've kind of running out of time. Could you take me through, like, if we're getting sort of like, what's the most generic strategy, like, why you would do what when?
So I'd level to 5 at 2-5, because that's a good interval. You level twice. You go from 4 gold to 4 XP to 12 XP. That's 8 gold. Usually, if in like a very generic game, I'll be on 28 gold then. Before, like, I'll hit that round. It'll be the start of that round. I'll be on 28 gold. Level twice, 20 gold, perfect, and I've leveled. Put in the next unit, fine.
So that's just before Krugs?
Yes, run before Krugs. Then after that, then how much XP is level 5 to 6? It's 20. Yeah, it's 20. So then after Krugs, you'd be on 4 XP. So you can roll. You can level at 10 rounds, or 3-1. Yeah, that's 16 gold, and you'll also be on about 40 gold yourself by then, probably, if you've saved well. So you can do that definitely. You can roll down a bit.
I guess would this all be kind of sort of delayed somewhat if you're stuck in the purgatory of, I guess, not being able to lose streak or win streak?
No, not necessarily. I mean, you can win and lose in the sort of mishmash and get the gold I was talking about relatively easily. If that is, you kind of want to be looking for, like, you don't want to get to Krugs and not have 10 gold yet. Like, you really want to have, I mean, you can, and it's not the end of the world, but having a lot of gold is important in this matter, at least, early on. So, I was saying earlier about being at stage 1 and having 10 gold at some point. Like, that can happen, and people do that, so doing that is, like, quite good sometimes.
So with the just to recap the first part of that. So if we're roughly at 2-5, so just before Krugs, we're leveling up from level. I guess is it from level 4 to 5? Yeah, it would be.
You're at 4 XP in level 4, and you need 12 XP, so you just level twice. You're there.
Okay, yeah. So it's sort of like you're not, at least it's not being inefficient at that point. So, but what would be the reasoning of doing that there rather than say saving gold for a little bit longer and then doing that on the Krug round?
Definitely can. On the Krug round, probably not on the Krug round, because you don't provided you're not going to lose the Krugs, you shouldn't roll. You shouldn't do anything unless you're above 50 gold. Then you can do whatever, roll or XP. But it's unlikely you're going to be at 50 gold at Krugs, and it's if you're guaranteed to win this round. You don't need to spend any gold. You can just save and then leave it, and then you might get champion drops, and you can maybe hit another tier of gold saving.
Okay, so it's interest, I suppose is.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I guess the sort of big thing to take away from that is just access the higher tier units earlier, like before everyone else starts getting low.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely go to 5-3-1. That's also fine. That would cost you 4 gold for experience, because you'd be on 8 out of 12. And then you'd be looking to probably go to level 6 at stage 3. Or you can do it all in the same round if you want. You can go all the way from 4 to 6, because it's only 20 gold.
So I'm just trying to make sure.
It's 24 gold.
I'm trying to make sure I understand sort of the reasoning for all this stuff.
Okay.
So presumably, if I sort of come to that point like a 2-5, and if the gold doesn't quite work out for whatever reason, I'm a little short on gold, whatever. I guess I'd have more motivation to hold off a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. Also, generally, so leveling is pretty useless if you've not got something to put in. So if you've got a 2-star at that point, if you've got a 2-star anything on your bench waiting to go in, leveling is good, because you don't have to, but it is good because you can get another 2-star unit in there. Say you've got like a noble kind of knight with Lucian kind of deal. Say you've got Darius, Garen, Lucian, Fiora, for example, and you have a 1-star Elise on your bench, and that's the only thing that you would put in. Just not worth it, to be honest. Doesn't really do anything. She'll die straight away. Just not going to be the difference between you winning or losing it. I mean, it could be, but unlikely. So probably a bit of a waste of gold to level to do that, because you level, opposed to what I said before about leveling not mattering for the hyper roll strategy. Leveling is generally in the normal strategy for greatly improving your strength on the board, because it's an entire extra unit. It's an entire extra 600 health, a synergy, maybe a carry even. So
I guess there's presumably a power trough between the early strategies like brawlers or wild, whatever, and like the kind of power you get from those 6 assassins or whatever later on.
Yeah.
So would it make sense to if you can potentially hit one of those early synergies, or synergies, you'd be a lot more motivated to actually start getting them out there and start winning.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so assuming everything's gone to plan, so shortly after Krugs, we've gone up to level 6, so we've got ourselves decent access to at least epics at this point.
Yeah, so you'll be it's 16 gold, so it's not that bad if you're on like 30 or 40 gold. Then you can roll. You can roll to 0, you can roll to 10. You can roll a decent amount, because that's when people are starting to ramp up.
And are you looking for epics at that point specifically?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you get one and it's a good one, then you can build a comp around it. You're also looking for your 2-star and 3-star upgrades. Your 2-cost and 3-cost upgrades. So like a Poppy 2 is like a fantastic way to sort of stabilize. Stuff like a Brand or something can like be really strong even though he's 1-star, if to like keep you going until you get level 7 and you really your comp really turns on and you get your 2-star 4 costs. But yeah, stuff to keep you going and so you don't lose a lot of health before wolves.
Okay, so that makes sense. So yeah, if we've got there a little bit earlier than other people, then presumably we're going to have a better selection of applicable 3 and 4-star units to.
I mean, you won't necessarily get there before people. I mean, that's a pretty common way for people to level.
Okay.
They can wait until the other way I said, but it's sort of about 50-50 at the moment, people leveling when I said and when the other way.
I suppose it would be, so the other way around would be, if we didn't do that, then presumably we would be missing out on what other people were doing. Which is...
It's not necessarily, I mean, it doesn't give you that much of an advantage to get there, but I mean, obviously, you've got sort of first pick of the litter, but it's not to be exaggerated how strong. I mean, you shouldn't do that for that reason. Like, it's a nice byproduct, but it's like you should be doing this based on how the game is going for you, like how your game is actually playing out, not how you want it to be playing out, like how you want to have first pick of all these things. If it's not like an objectively good choice, then you can't just force kind of.
Yeah, because it does sound like the whole thing is like a balancing act of, like, if I guess if you've got a composition that would come alive if you got that Draven, for instance, or similar, then you've got a lot more motivation to go after that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I mean, at the same time, that does sound like, are there any other reasons that you would kind of try and go after those earlier levels than you would have otherwise?
Not really. I don't think. I mean, unless you're win streaking really hard, then it's not necessary to level earlier. Like, what I've said is just my preference because it's sort of, I won't stick to it every game, but most games, I do that because it just seems to the way my games go, my play style. That seems to be the rounds that is nice for me to level. Not always what I do, because it doesn't always work. It's not always the right time to do it because of my gold or I'm doing like well on health and I'm not win streaking, so I don't really need to force it. I can save a bit more. It's a bit of a push and pull with like how greedy you can be sometimes. Similarly, we haven't even talked about items actually. Similarly with items, like there are just objectively better items in each patch, right? And you can be halfway to that item, but then you don't get it from carousel or whatever, and then you need to sort of weigh your health against having the really good item a bit later on. You can see how greedy you can be. Same with leveling and rolling. You can be greedy and wait for loads more gold and then get loads of rolls or like a couple of levels, that kind of thing. But you've got to weigh that against how much health you're going to lose.
Yes.
Being on 20 health in any scenario is very scary because one round, like if it's a late game and you're on 20 health and a bad round, you can be out. I've lost on like 31 health before.
Oof.
I know. If someone is that much stronger than you.
Yeah, I suppose that's something you did touch on before. Like, I think that's one of the sort of fundamentals I need to start like bringing into my thinking a lot more. Is I'm trying to think of a good metaphor here for this kind of idea where you've got like, it's not like a kind of like a scales as much as it's a scale with lots and lots of different kind of variables that you're trying to throw in and think, how does my decision making like just
I mean,
not be blind to that.
It's hard to lay out it's hard to even lay out like a variable road plan because there's certain scenarios where you'd level on a bad interval. Well, actually, there's a lot of scenarios where you'd level on a bad interval. If you were weak, if you would lose to Krugs, then you've got to level before Krugs.
Yes.
Like you've got to level like on the Krugs round. If you're definitely going to lose to them and leveling will save you, you've got to do that, even if you're sort of on that bad interval. If you're a lot later on, and it's like it matters less later on. So if you're like on a bad interval to go to level 8, but you're on 12 HP and you feel and like you need to level, then just level, because you know the 2 gold in the grand scheme of things. If it saves you from coming 8th, who cares about the 2 gold?
Yes.
But yeah, so it's kind of hard to do like a general overall plan. Similarly with items, you don't know what you're going to get and when. You don't know. I mean, you can say if you're looking for something very, very specific, which your comp doesn't work without, say the BF sword or the spatula for the Void Assassin comp, then you have to. Another thing you do in that comp is, and if you watch Alan's Q, his stream, then I think he plays that comp a lot. But you have to basically int as hard as you possibly can, because, well, probably not as hard as you can. You have to lose every round at least to get first dibs on the carousel.
Yeah.
Like in his games, then he like, 3 people might be doing it. So 3 people are trying to get the spatula from the first carousel. So 3 people are losing every round as hard as they can to get lowest HP. And only one of them is going to get a spatula, if it's even there. So, he'll have all his good units on the bench, but then he'll have like a 1-star Nidalee, a 1-star Graves, and a 1-star Elise in like a bad position on this board. So he's guaranteed to lose every round as hard as he possibly can.
But I guess you can't necessarily account with someone who's going to like totally open fort.
Yeah. I forgot what my original point was before I went off that.
Sorry, I've got a very bad habit of getting people to do that.
No, that's right. Oh well, smile then.
All right, well, tell you what, if we get the sort of conventional strategy done, then I think that's going to be like enough for today.
All right, so after you go to 6 at stage 3-1,
yep,
we were going with, then you want to roll on that round, and then the next round if you're not quite fast enough. So you can go to 0, you can go to 10, you can go to 20 if you're not feeling like you need to be that much stronger. But then generally saving to wolves and after wolves, and you don't really want to be, for level 7 and 8, you want to be above 50 gold before you level. So if you don't get there until, a couple of rounds after wolves, then don't worry, it's like you're going to be a bit slow to the party, but it's not that big of a deal. You're not going to be like exceptionally behind. So you'd be way more behind if you leveled at the same time as people and didn't have as much to roll.
So leveling up to level 7, so are you saying that I want to have 50 gold and sort of level up while maintaining that 50 gold?
No. I'm saying, in this mirror at least, I'm saying you want to have 50 gold and then you want to use all of that 50 gold basically to level and roll. Okay. Leveling before, obviously. So say it was 20 gold for you to level, then you could level with the 20 gold and then you'd have 30 gold left to do rolling and buying champions.
Okay.
Yeah. This is quite like it's like a fast-paced game plan, because there's a lot of lulls and a lot of like really sort of intense rolling and doing things all in 1 round or 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so a bit after wolves, if a good interval, perfect. Multiple of 4, that's great. If it's not, then it's not the end of the world. And you want to be rolling after that, because that's when you really want your comp to sort of be strong. I mean, even after you hit level 6, then you can roll. I did say you can roll down to 0 if you want, but yeah, you can roll like a lot if you want to get yourself really in a good position with good units. And then similarly to level 7, the similarity to level 6, after level 7, then you're rolling again to quite a low amount of gold, and then saving up again till Raptors, or just after Raptors when you've got the 50 gold, go to 8 and roll again, and that's sort of finishing off your build. But that's like your perfect sort of game scenario. If you have more gold than that, then you can be really greedy and slow level, which if you're doing really well, you're like 100 HP, you've got like a 10 win streak, whatever, perfect game. then you can slow level. It's greedy, but if you're strong enough, then you can totally do it. And that is leveling down. I mean, buying XP until 50 gold every round until you hit the level. And that gives you way more gold to roll with, if that's your plan, or you can even just go to another level above that if you're really strong.
So I presume when you're doing that kind of thing, you need to be very aware of what other people are getting, so that because you're arriving a little late to the party, that certain options I presume would be kind of at least a lot harder to go for at that point.
Well, okay, so you've got, because there's only 13 forecasts in the game, if there's 3 people looking for Aurelion Sol 2, and they've already got a couple of them each, probably not a good idea for you to go for it, because realistically, the chances of you finding it are very slim. So, yeah, that's a scenario where you'd look for something else, but it's not like you have to be, because someone else is doing some strategy, you have to be forced away from it. You can definitely still go for it. And even if you're slow to level up any strategy that's not like what I just mentioned with the Aurelion Souls, and loads of people doing it, then it's pretty open. You can do really whatever you want still. It's not a massive deal.
Okay.
It also depends how fast or slow your individual lobby is, because some lobbies you get everyone leveling straight after walls without fail. Like, everyone will. But then some nobody will, and everybody will level at 4-3 or on carousel or something.
So what would come into play as far as, should you be matching what people are doing or kind of going your own way? I mean, I know it's quite an open question.
No, I know. Generally, with how I've sort of laid out the sort of roadmap for the game, that will be matching people.
Okay.
And then the slower sort of the leveling a bit after, like I said, it's fine to level a bit later than I've said. Is actually really common this patch, because it's a bit of a slower patch. So it's not like a lot of people will be doing the slower leveling a bit later, so they have enough gold to sort of deal with and to sort of make themselves strong with rolling. So yeah, it's not necessarily. I mean, it's just not a disadvantage at all, really. In the grand scheme of things, leveling a bit later than is like the ideal, because other people will be doing it. It's not like, it's not that much of a burden, to be honest.
Okay. That's cool. I think that covers it pretty well. Like, I know we didn't actually get to do any gameplay footage at all, but
No, that's fine.
No, that's cool. Could you give me your details so I can post them out to the stream for anyone who's interested in employing your coaching services?
You can do my Discord, because that's where people can get me. I don't really have like a website or anything, so
yeah, absolutely.
If people just add me on Discord, then they can inquire about coaching.
Okay, yes. Okay, I'll post yours. Cool. I've posted it up, and I'll put that around the place. Well, thank you very much, Will. Like, yeah, right. I'd love to, like, maybe next week, if time allows, to actually go and like try and apply some of this stuff. Well, obviously, I'll go and apply some of the stuff to the game now, but to see how well I'd be able to apply that to the game in between time. Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Sorry.
Cool. All right. I'll let you go now, and I'll let this recording go as well. There we go. All right. Cheers, folks.